Good morning, everyone. It's time for the Mad Max Lowco recap. All right, everyone. We are live here from the media tent at the 57th running of the RBC Heritage. Glad to have everyone in. I'd like to thank everyone for joining. We're going to give you guys a recap of what went down yesterday in round one of the RBC Heritage, and then give you my thoughts on what round two should look like here at Harbor Town. Obviously, the man of the day yesterday was Justin Thomas, finishing tying the course record, setting a round of 61, 10 under par. He is obviously the leader going into round two, but just behind him is Mr. Scotty Scheffler, the number one golfer in the world according to the World Golf Rankings, as well as Russell Henley, who birdied in, I believe, four of his last five holes. Yeah, that's right. He birdied in 14, 15, 16, and 18 to get to 7 under par on the day. Scotty Scheffler is also at a 7 under par. Wyndham Clark sits right behind them at 6 under par. And then you got the local man, Brian Campbell, based out of Colden River, with a 5 under par from Colden River Plantation. That's his home course. That's where he resides these days. And then following Campbell, obviously Matt Fitzpatrick is at 5 under. Gary Woodland is also at 5 under, so that's a name to watch out for. Brian Harmon, the man from Savannah, Georgia, at 5 under par as well. And then you get round out the top 10 with your 4 under pars. And some of those names include the fan favorite here at the RBC Heritage, Matt Kuchar, as well as Sami Välimäki out of Finland, I believe, as well as Keegan Bradley. And Tommy Fleetwood also sits at 4 under par. And the former RBC Heritage champion Jordan Spieth from 2022 is also at 4 under par, as well as the man who finished runner-up at the Masters last week, Justin Rose, also sits at 4 under par. And you can check out the leaderboard on the RBC Heritage website, as well as getting the PGA Tour app to keep up to date on what's going to be going on here in round two today. Justin Thomas, what a round he had in round one. It came out of nowhere because we all really thought that he was going to, we didn't know what to expect out of him. He had a very disappointing week last week at Augusta, finishing 2 over. Just could not seem to find his game at Augusta. He comes in yesterday and birdies on holes 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 12, 13, 15, 16, and 17. That's 11 birdies. He had 1 bogey in the round at hole number 10. But if it wasn't for that bogey on 10, we'd be talking about someone who broke the course record yesterday. Unbelievable round by Justin Thomas, and really out of nowhere. And it's currently they're showing his highlights on the big board that we have here at the Harbor Town Media tent here. I'll show you something real quick. Here is our huge screen that we have in the middle of our media tent here at the RBC Heritage. Really cool board to have, especially for us to keep up to date if we're here at any point during the round. Yesterday as well as today, it's great to have that available, and they're currently showing Justin Thomas's highlights right now of how he got to 10 under par. Scotty Scheffler has also been solid and really good through the first 9 holes of round one. Went 5 under through the front 9 yesterday, and then through the back 9 he shot 2 under to get him at 7 under par. Birdied in holes 1, 2, 5, 6, and 9 through the front 9, and then birdied 10 and 15 on the back 9 today. So pairings for today, same pairings, but everybody has been switched around. So whoever started last yesterday will start first, and with that, I believe it will be Carl Phillips and Ricky Fowler leading off. Currently, should be at any moment now. is the start of the second round. 8 a.m. is the first tee time for Carl Phillips and Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler is here, of course, on exemption, sponsor exemption. And here's Ricky Fowler now. He currently sits at 1 over par. He's here taking his iron shot, his second of 4 shots at hole number 1. And so we're definitely keeping an eye on that. He just had a great approach shot to make probably a 6 to 8 foot putt for birdie. Potentially, Carl Phillips is sitting outside. He sits at even par right now. A lot of names on this list. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is going to be a signature event for the RBC Heritage this year. $20 million purse, as well as it's a signature event, which means only the top golfers in the world can be here unless you're on a sponsor exemption, like Ricky Fowler is. 43 of the top 50 golfers in the world, according to the World Golf rankings, are all here today and are here for the rest of the week, unless some injury or family emergency takes place. We're going to have a lot of fun with some of these players. I mean, there are so many names on this list. JT Poston, Jason Day, Bud Cauley was out earlier yesterday morning. Victor Hovland, Lucas Oberg, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, which, by the way, those 4 golfers all sit right now at 2 under par. If they can have a good round today, it's going to be really interesting to see how the weekend comes out. And I kind of expect those 4 to make their moves today. Corey Connors, who had a great round, a great tournament at the Masters last week, currently sitting at 1 under par. Not his best day yesterday, but I have a feeling he's going to make some moves as well. Who else? Obviously, Ricky Fowler's at 1 over. Will Zalatoris is also at 1 over, as well as Tony Finau. They're all at 1 over right now, which is surprising for Tony Finau to be at 1 under. I expected him to be a little higher in those standings through the first round, but he is not. Billy Horschel is at even par. Billy Horschel was one of the underdog picks, and if you're a betting man, this morning he would be a underdog pick. He, I think, was at plus 12,000 odds to win it. So definitely would like to see Billy Horschel make a move as well. And I mean, Will Zalatoris, we talked about him last night on the Lowco Sports Slowdown. The biggest issue I'm having with Will Zalatoris right now is I still don't think he's 100%. He dealt with a pretty bad injury that kept him out for a few months. And I just have the feeling that his injury has still not fully healed yet. And if it has fully healed, I think it's going to take a bit more time for him to get used to being back on the golf courses, even though he's been on the courses for a couple months now. He's just not the Will Zalatoris we remember seeing, especially here at the RBC Heritage and at Augusta a couple years back when he was in contention for a green jacket not long ago. So I'm hoping he can get back on the right track. Today would be the day to do it. Zahith Thagala, who was a name to definitely keep an eye on in this tournament, had a great round, had an okay round yesterday, but not his best. He's currently at 4 over. He had a really good tournament at Augusta last week, and that's why it's a name worth noting because he's really done well over the last couple weeks, but not great round today. He's currently sitting at 4 over, and so it's going to take a lot for him to get back on the right track, but I have a feeling he can definitely do that. I wonder, what the next step is for Will Zalatoris as he tries to get back to playing golf and playing it well. I think the next step for him is to he's got to ease into it. I just have a feeling he's not easing in like we expect him to. He's a great golfer, but he's struggled ever since he came back from injury. He's really struggled to make something worth noting and make something that people are going to watch. And he's just really struggled. But I have faith in Will Zalatoris that he can get back on the right track, and I think he definitely can, and eventually will. So my thoughts on the round today, As we look towards round two, obviously it has already started. Currently, Carl Phillips and Ricky Fowler have just finished hole number one. I believe Ricky Fowler is currently playing. Did he shoot that birdie? Let's check and see. Yes, he did. He got a birdie on hole number one. 3 shots on the par 4 number one. He goes to par 2 number 5. Currently sitting at even par. That's a great way to start Ricky Fowler's second round. We'll definitely be seeing how he can do. Let's check on the tee times for the groups. Harris English and Jacob Bridgman are the next group to start. They're going to start any second now. But then we look as we head towards the bottom. Wyndham Clark, who's sitting at 6 under par right now. Him and Will Zalatoris will tee off at 8:50 a.m. So not that long from now. And as we get into the later part of the day, that's when some of the big names are starting to come out. At 9:10, Jason Day and Tony Finau will be out for tee time of 9:10. Brian Harmon, the Savannah, Georgia man, will be out around 9:55. And as we get to the 10 o'clock hour, that's when some big names really start to show up. Billy Horschel at 10:05. At 10:15, Ludwig Oberg and Xander Schauffele will tee off together, so that should be very interesting. Right behind them at 10:25, Colin Morikawa and Sahith Theegala. And then at 10:40, Justin Rose will tee off with Minwoo Lee. Let's see, 11 o'clock hour. Brian Campbell, the local man, and Sami Valimaki will tee off at 11:20. Matt Kuchar, the Heritage favorite, will tee off at 11:30 with Sam Stevens. Max Homa at 11:40, he'll tee off with Denny McCarthy. And then who else is on this list? It's a great list too. Matt Fitzpatrick down at 12:45. He'll be teeing off with Eric Cole. Patrick Cantlay, who had a good round yesterday, he'll shoot out at tee off at 12:55. Who else? Russell Henley, who's currently sitting second, tied for second with Scotty Scheffler. He'll tee off with Tom Hodge at 1:10. Tommy Fleetwood will tee off with Sung Jae Im at 1:20. And then the marquee pairing at 1:30. Victor Hovland and Scotty Scheffler will tee off. And following them, the leader, Justin Thomas, alongside Corey Connors, they'll tee off at 1:40. So some of the bigger names are starting to come in at the later stages of the game. Shane Lowry and Jordan Spieth will follow them at 1:50. And at 2 o'clock, J.J. Spawn, Lucas Glover, and then Gary Woodland, who had a good round yesterday, he'll tee off at 2:10 with Daniel Berger. So, again, signature event, a lot of great names. Looking forward to this. This is going to be a great day. But currently, Ricky Fowler is 1 under for the day. He's currently at even par after birdieing hole number 1. They're about to tee off here. Carl Phillips is teeing off here at the par 5 second. And we're looking at it on the big board here to see how he does. And, you know, the other thing I noticed with this is, hey, there's a lot that needs to be done for some of these golfers. They're going to need to catch up, including Colin Morikawa, Xander Schauffele, Ludwig Oberg, Victor Hovland. Those names are all sitting at 2 under par right now, and they're currently anywhere from 5 to 8 shots back of the leaderboard. You know, of the current leaders in Russell Henley, Scotty Scheffler, and of course the real leader, Justin Thomas. They're going to need to pick it up. They got to make some moves today for moving day in round 3. When moving day comes in, that's when you need to strike and get control of where you want to be. And if they can't do it today, it's going to be a long weekend, because the other thing with this tournament is, because the short amount of golfers, there is no cut in this tournament. No cut whatsoever. So no one's getting cut in this tournament. They're all playing 4 rounds. They have 4 rounds to make a move, but I would suggest making those moves at the later stages of round 2 and mostly through round 3. If you can't make those moves by round 3, it's going to be a long and treacherous round 4 for you if you can't do something good here. So I think the main thing for me is figure out how to make a move. That course is going to be playing a little bit different today. It's gonna be this around the same temperature, if not a little warmer today. And then on top of that, um, the winds might be a factor today for them, as the winds are going to pick up a little bit today compared to a little bit more today compared to yesterday. That could play a factor on this course. When you have a little bit of wind on this course, it can be very tricky. Like I've told anyone, and anyone on the PGA Tour will tell you, this is one of the most technical courses on the PGA Tour. You got to be smart with what shots you make. You got to be smart with the choice of clubs. It reminds me a lot of Augusta. You have to be smart through every aspect of it. You got to make your choices the right way, and you got to be able to know where that ball goes. Because if you don't make the right shot, you could end up either in a bunker, you could end up next to a tree. I mean, there's so many things that could go wrong on this golf course. So you got to be smart with how you play. It reminds me a lot of Augusta. You have to have the right choice of club and the right shot. And if you don't have either of those, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. And I think that's why a lot of players love this course, is because they got to be smart, especially with their iron game, which is always tricky. Some of the best golfers in the world, their iron game can struggle at times. We saw Scotty Scheffler in round 3 last week at Augusta. He struggled with his iron game in round 3, and he therefore struggled and fell behind a little bit compared to the leaders. And possibly that could have been what costed him another green jacket last week. He figured it out by round 4, and he definitely figured it out yesterday with his iron game, and it got him 7 under par and a bogey-free round as well. Now, he had no bogeys in the round, just 7 birdies, man. So he knows that his iron game is there. He's going to be able to figure it out. But a lot of other players that are going to need to figure it out, including Ricky Fowler, they're going to need to figure out their iron game, because that's going to be the most important part of this course. Is if your iron game is not good and isn't good for a round here at the Heritage, you're going to have yourself in a lot of trouble. So I expect some of these players to really hone in on their iron game this morning as they hit the driving range, and then work on their putt game, which is going to be the second most important part of playing this course. But a lot of the players are going to work on their iron game this morning and get that ready. Now, yes, of course, you're going to need to be good teeing off with the driver, but that iron game is the most important part when you're on this course, in my opinion. So I think a lot of golfers this morning are going to be working on their iron game when they're out on the driving range, getting ready for their next, the next round. So, my other thoughts, I think Justin Thomas, obviously a round for the ages here at Augusta, or excuse me, not Augusta, Harbour Town. And I think, can he continue that today? I think he can. I don't think he's going to have a round like he just did yesterday. It's very hard to have 10 under par through 2 rounds, a 10 under 61 for 2 straight rounds. It's very, very hard to do. If he does better than that, I think we may be able to. I think there's a possibility we could write the book off on this one. If he had a round better than he did yesterday, today, close the book. I don't know how you can lose a tournament after having 2 rounds of 61 or better. So we'll see what he does today. I think he's figured out his game today. I mean, obviously, it's going to be interesting to see what he does today. But I think if you look at what he did yesterday, he's found a groove, and he needs to be able to stick with that groove for the next 3 rounds. If he can do that, he's going to have a really good chance of holding, wearing, I guess would be the way to put it, that tartan jacket. So I'm intrigued to see what he does today. Scotty Scheffler, I think he continues with the game plan he had yesterday. If he can stay consistent in his iron game, which he usually does, if he can stay consistent in his iron game, he's going to have a really good tournament here. And I think he will be definitely 100% in contention come Sunday morning for round 4. He's going to have a good round today, but we shall see with those names. Ryan Henley, or Russell Henley, excuse me. I don't know what to expect out of him. I wasn't expecting him to finish with a 7 under par, yesterday. But those last 5 holes he had in round one, just absolutely amazing. He birdied on 14, 15, and 16, parred on 17th, and then the 17th par 3, and then on 18th he birdied again, and got him at 7 under par. I mean, going into the 14th hole, he was only at 3 under par. I mean, we didn't think he was going to shoot through the leaderboard, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in a matter of 5 holes, he's currently sitting tied for second. So I don't know what to expect out of Russell Henley today, but if he has a good round, he's going to be in contention as well. Wyndham Clark, who sits right behind the top 3, had a really good round yesterday. I mean, he went 2 under through the first 9, and I didn't know what to expect out of him going into the back 9, and then shot 4 under through the back 9 to finish with a total of a round of 65 and 6 under here at the RBC Heritage. And how about the local man out of Bluffton, South Carolina? Brian Campbell had a spectacular round. And during an interview, it sounds like he's never played this course before. He's been living in the Bluffton and Low Country area for a few years now, and he's never played Harbortown. I find that absolutely unreal. He went through round 1 on the front 9, shot 2 under par through the front 9, and then had bogeyed on. So he birdied on holes 2, 4, and 5, bogeyed on hole 6. Then you go through the back 9, and that's where he had a better round. Had the better half of the round, shooting 3 under, including birdies on holes 16 and 17. A 2 on the par 3. He had a very good shot in that hole. You can definitely watch that one on recap on YouTube and stuff like that, or on the PGA app. He had a really good round. He actually played quite well at Augusta last week, especially for Brian Campbell, because I didn't know what to expect out of Brian Campbell. But you know, we talked about this last night on the lowdown. We didn't know Brian Campbell lived here in the area. We had no clue. We were going into this Heritage tournament thinking Brian Campbell still lived in Irvine, California, which is where he's from. We had no idea he was living here. So we didn't know we had a local golfer in the RBC Heritage this year. And we thought, oh my God, that's great to have a local guy. Who is he? Who is he? We have no idea who you guys are talking about. And they're like, Brian Campbell. And I'm like, where does Brian Campbell live? And they're like, Colin River. And we were almost shocked at that. I did not know we had a local golfer in the tournament this coming week. And, you know, it's just great to see that. And I'm very excited, and I hope he can continue having a really good round today. If he has a good round today, he is going to be in contention for a tartan jacket. And how great would it be to have a Bluffton man win the tartan jacket? I would think that would be the best thing in the world, to have someone from this area, from Beaufort County, win the RBC Heritage. I think that would be great. And for someone who resides out in Bluffton, not far from here at Harbortown, it would be something special to have someone like that beat out some of the top golfers in the world and take a tartan jacket. So we will see how he does today. If he can have a good round today, he's gonna be in the mix going into round 3. How about Matt Fitzpatrick? He's also sitting at 5 under par right now, and I think if you look at Matt Fitzpatrick, he has a history here at Harbortown. Obviously, he's a RBC Heritage champion. But on top of that, he used to come here every year as a kid with his parents to watch the RBC Heritage on vacation. You know, Matt Fitzpatrick out of the Great Britain area, having him come here as a kid and watching RBC Heritage and then winning it just a few years back, just a couple years ago, actually, 2023, to see him win that and him talk about his story and how much he loves this course and the history he has with this course has been really special to see. And he could be in the potential for a second tartan jacket, which would be great to see out of him. He's at 5 under right now. We'll see how he does. How about Gary Woodland? This guy has struggled over the last year or so, really struggled. And he had a great round yesterday. 5 under par. went 2 under on the front 9, and then went 3 under on the back 9 with an eagle on 15. How about that? An eagle on 15 to get him at 5 under par, and he would birdie the last 3 holes, or excuse me, not birdie, the par of the last 3 holes to get him to a round of 66 and 5 under. Gary Woodland in the mix. If he can figure something out and get a win, it would be great to see Gary Woodland back in the winners circle. Brian Harmon out of Savannah, Georgia. He's at 5 under. Love to see what he can do. I mean, he had a great round yesterday. I mean, you look at his round. He birdied hole 1. He eagled hole 2 to put him at 3 under through 2 holes. Then he birdied on 5 and 9. And then through the back 9, that's where he started to struggle a little bit. Birdied on 15 and then bogeyed on 18 to give him a round of 5 under. If he hadn't bogeyed on 18, he'd be sitting at potentially 6 under par and really in the mix going into round 2 today. If he can have a good round, he's also going to be in the mix for potentially making a run at the Tartan Jacket. How about Matt Kuchar, fan favorite of the RBC Heritage? Everybody loves him. When he hits off the tee, you hear the screaming "Cooch," and it's great to have him back here. He wasn't here last year, but he's back this year. And actually, I wrote a piece. You can go and check it out on locosports.com. I wrote a piece on Matt Kuchar yesterday afternoon, and you can go and check that out. It's out now. I think it was debuted probably late last night or first thing this morning. You can go check it out. It's a great piece. I enjoyed writing it on a guy that has been a fan favorite for decades here. I mean, this is his 21st RBC Heritage. His first was in 2003 and missed the cut in 2003. Of course, at that time, there were cuts at the RBC Heritage. But he has not missed a cut since then here at the Heritage. So obviously he loves this course. He's currently sitting at 4 under par. I mean, he had a great first front 9. Birdied on holes 2, 4, and 7. He bogeyed on 9 and then won 2 under in the back 9 and birdied on holes 13 and 15. If he can keep playing like this, he knows. The one thing I would say about this is out of everyone in this week's field, in this week's playing field, Matt Kuchar has the most experience of this on this course over anyone by a country mile. He has field experience that you can't beat. I mean, 20 appearances coming into this week at the RBC Heritage. He knows every in and out of this course after spending 20 years playing at this course. If anyone can do it and get into the mix and make a move come Sunday afternoon, I think it's Matt Kuchar. I really do. I think he's a player to definitely keep an eye on as we head to the second round today, because with that experience and knowing every in and out of this course, it's going to be easier for you to play this course, and you can remain calm and collected, knowing where everything is on the course and how to be prepared for a course as technical as this. So, I mean, Matt Kuchar is definitely in the mix just because of the pure experience he's had over the years here at the RBC Heritage. So, with that being said, my thoughts on today's round, I think Justin Thomas will have a good round today, but I think Scotty Scheffler can make a move. Russell Henley might be able to stay in the mix. I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect out of Russell Henley, but I know Scotty Scheffler, I expect to have a good round today. I expect him to really work on his iron game today, which is really his strong suit as a player, is that iron game he has. And I expect him to make some moves today and potentially take the lead. I think going into the end of round 2, I think Justin Thomas will be a shot behind Scotty Scheffler come the end of the day, and Scotty Scheffler will have the lead to go into the weekend. And I think Russell Henley, if he can have a good run, he won't be far behind them. So I do think my top 3 after round 2 today, I think Scotty Scheffler will be sitting first going into the weekend. Justin Thomas maybe 1-2 shots, a shot behind him. And then I think Wyndham Clark can make a move today, and I think he'll be tied with Justin Thomas by the end of the day, just because of how well he played this week. And Brian Campbell, I think Brian Campbell is going to be in the mix as well. So definitely keep an eye on those 5 guys: Justin Thomas, Russell Henley, Scotty Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, and the local man Brian Campbell. Keep a close eye on all of them, because I have a feeling each one of them are going to make some moves today to get themselves positioned for the upcoming week, for the upcoming weekend, I should say. So with that being said, I think that's going to do it for us here. I will be back here tomorrow morning. You can definitely watch the Mad Max Lowco recap tomorrow morning, as I'll give you my thoughts on what happened in round 2, and then give my thoughts on what the upcoming round 3 will look like, and heading towards the final round on Sunday. It'll be moving day tomorrow morning, so we will be here bright and early at 8 a.m. live from the RBC Heritage Media Tent, and we will see you then. So for everyone watching, I want to appreciate that and say thank you for continuing to support me on my journey, continuing to support us here at Lowco Sports, and we will see you at the Heritage today, or we will see you tonight on the Lowco Sports Lowdown at 9:30ish tonight, depending on what time we all get home and get ourselves positioned and ready to go. So we'll see you tonight on the Lowco Sports Lowdown at around 9:30, and then I'll be back here tomorrow morning, live from the Lowco Sports hub here at the RBC Heritage Media Tent, and I will see you on the course. If you're here today, I look forward to seeing you on the course, and if you see me, give me that big one Lowco, and we will see you there. So that's going to do it for us. I appreciate you guys for watching, and this has been the Mad Max Lowco recap. And until next time, go Lowco.